Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm doing a Battlefield 4 discussion with my good friend Zero Twat. Say hello, Zero.
It's pronounced zero T. Thank you very
Ah,
much.
okay, yeah. Okay, and yeah, today basically we're gonna do a talk on Battlefield 4, considering the reveal is probably right around the corner at E3, which is in a month's time, I believe. Might be wrong, but if it is, now's the best time to talk about it. Yeah. All right. So first thing Zero suggested, get the most apparent thing that's talked about in Battlefield 3, the opinions we want for things we want for Battlefield 4, and that is suppression. Zero, how do you want suppression in Battlefield 4?
Alright. When you hear a good player that wants to stop playing BF3 or that goes away from the game, the number one reason that they always give you why they're doing that is suppression. I mean, it's clearly
Yeah.
not it takes the skill out of a lot of gunfights. It's not just something that happens occasionally, like getting shot around the corner. I mean, that's annoying, but it only happens a small percentage of the time. But suppression is affects every single gunfight you're in, and it's just not the way that I think the game should play out.
Yeah, I had a friend who not longer after he posted this quit Battlefield 3, and it was suppression leads to depression, and then and then he quit. And he was like Colonel 100. He played all the way up to the patch, and then just left after that suppression patch, which increased random deviation. And one thing I was thinking about with the whole suppression thing, I've yet to see anyone who can get above 20 accuracy with regular weapons liking suppression. Anyone out of any forum post or something like that, I've seen people who think suppression is a good idea, as in the random deviation fact, always have horrible accuracy, which means they
Well,
miss their shots.
they don't have to work. They don't have to work on getting better aim because they're benefited
Yeah.
by missing.
Yep.
I
And
mean, there should be.
no, Zero, it's tactical. It's seriously tactical. Use cover, man.
Yeah. Cover, dude. Like yesterday, I was
Yeah.
playing the cover. Didn't even help.
Yeah,
I couldn't see anything.
it's like them people that say you just need to change the way you play and just get behind cover. But that's
But then
not
you can
how
never get out of
gunfight.
cover because you're still suppressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not even how most gunfights work. Most gunfights happen in a split second and they're over. If you turn your back and run to cover, you're gonna die. You need to shoot back, and if someone shoots first and misses, that shouldn't make your shots miss as well. And I just think that whole random deviation thing is extremely unfair, and it should be changed.
hmm
What are your thoughts on? Because I know a lot of people say get rid of that, but they say keep the increased recoil because if you are a skilled player, you can advert that and the blur. What are your thoughts on that? Keep getting rid of the random deviation, but keeping the rest.
Well, it'd be hard. You'd have to actually test it out. I mean, it would be hard to know what they'd change it to without actually experiencing it. To if they were gonna do something like that, I mean, it's probably preferable to what they have now. But that's stuff they have to get worked out in the alpha and the beta of BF4. So
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to speculate on. I'd probably
yeah.
hate it anyway. I'd probably hate it either way.
Just want a nice clear screen because yeah, um when you play an
Because the
FPS,
blur is really annoying. I mean, besides just the deviation, if you can't see anything when you have this bipod guy across the map spraying at you. You can't see anything. We're not even 3 feet in front of you. That is incredibly annoying.
yeah, and a lot of people bring up it's tactical in real life, and it's like suppressing people in real life. But what a lot of people fail to realize is Battlefield 3 and Battlefield as a whole has always been an arcade game. It's not armor realistic. It doesn't need them things to make it realistic. Things that sell Battlefield are, you know, the over the top ridiculousness that will never happen in any type of game. So why do they need to make it realistic? Why do they need to bring in these aspects that supposedly are realistic when, I've talked to people who have been in military and been shot at and they've said if anything their adrenaline pumps up and they actually have more focus than less focus. So I thought that was interesting when I talked to someone about that.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. I mean,
That,
how many DICE developers have actually, like, been in a real gunfight before? How many players have been in a real gunfight before?
see, they're the coders though. They're in technology wars every day, Zero. You should respect their contributions. Come on.
Oh, I understand. I understand. It's okay.
Okay, there's basically our opinions on Suppression. It sucks. um, and also want your thoughts on Suppression. Let us know, what you think, and don't be afraid of saying if you like it. Give me reasons though. I want to hear reasons. If you say it's realistic, explain to me why you think a game like Battlefield should turn into a realistic type game and whatnot. I'm all fancy. I've got a list here. So the next thing, which actually is quite, it has some similarities to Suppression. It's sniping, because sniping's kind of took a big hit with Suppression and random deviation, but basically I want to get Zero's thoughts on Suppression. Sniping! Oh god, I just combined Suppression and Sniping. Suppressing, Sniping, and like, what do you think of the damage numbers, how it works and whatnot?
Well, I've been doing a lot of sniping lately, and I can honestly say that sniping in BF3 is some of the most fun I have sniping, like, anywhere. People that, well, the reason why I think that is because, you have to go for headshots. And that has, like, an extra aspect into just, aiming to the target really fast, and then, it's taking him out with a body shot, like BC2 and stuff.
Yeah.
It adds an extra aspect. And it's a skilled aspect, and I think the game needs more of these skilled aspects. So once you practice over and over and again to get these headshots, you can get quicker and quicker, and it's more rewarding like that. And I think generally, without taking into account like your random bullet deviation and stuff, I think sniping is pretty fun in this particular game.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say sniping is probably, once mastered, can be one of the most powerful classes. Like, bolt actions are the only weapon in the game that can instantly kill anyone at any range, So once that, getting headshots is mastered, you can just, take out people really easily in comparison to other weapons, which obviously you need to get 4 or 5 or 6 shots onto them before people die. A sniper only needs 1 bullet. While in Bad Comedy 2 they made it too easy in the fact you could just kind of panic no-scope people and instantly kill them by hitting them in the groin, shoot them in the nuts, they're dead. I mean, in real life, fuck yeah, you die, but, once again, this isn't a real-life game.
It's important to balance the class.
Yeah. So, I agree heavily with the whole headshots for the win. I think a lot of people that think sniping in BF3 sucks are the ones that can't or aren't willing to learn to aim for the head. They just go for them easy body shots. And
if you put in the time, you can do it.
Anyone can, yeah.
Yeah, if you go watch T-Space's sniper videos, he explains it pretty well, and
yeah.
And if you put the time in, you're good at it, and you won't think it's as unbalanced as you think.
Exactly. Like his back-to-school sniping, I'll link that in the description. Is easily one of the best tutorial series on YouTube about getting better at sniping. It certainly explains every aspect of it, and he comes up with a lot of creative things to get better.
Big hints. Lower your sensitivity.
Yeah. I personally would like to have T-Space in this discussion, but he unfortunately is taking a break from Battlefield because of schoolwork and whatnot, and so that's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Alright, that's basically our thoughts on sniping. Have another thing here, which is lock-on weapons. What are your thoughts on them, Zero?
Lock-on weapons didn't bring anything to the game that I think is good. Lock-on weapons, you can just pull them up and click a button and then you get a kill. That's the opposite of something. I think the game needs more things where it takes skill to master something. Like with lock-on weapons, you just point and click, and that is not the direction I think like I'd like to see, Battlefield go in the future. Like an AT4 back in. I know everyone wants to. It's like, oh, bring the AT4 back, but I agree with that because it's smart, it's fun, and it's skilled. Instead of like actually just pointing and clicking, getting a kill, you have to guide it yourself, and you take practice and practice to get master it, and then you have the people that are like masters of it that have thousands and thousands of kills, and that's what the game needs is more skilled things, and this lock-on stuff is bringing in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and with a fact like that, it also brings more balance in that, because with like eaglers and that now, you can say helicopters are destroyed by eaglers and stuff like that, but there's a point where helicopters can hover at a certain height, and it's game over. The eaglers can't lock them, and they're basically invincible, while their gunner sits at the top of the map, just pummeling everything in its power, and the only thing that's going to kill it is another air vehicle, but if they're good at what they're doing, they're not going to let that happen. Or like a fucking Hail Mary RPG, in the middle of nowhere, like just launching it up there and praying it hits. But that's
the RPGs are skilled, but there's only so much you can do with it. Now, if you have a high C on the map, if you have high C with an AT4,
exactly, that helicopter isn't going to stay hovering very long.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes skill, and it provides a lot more balance, in my opinion, because you can't have them exploits and whatnot. There's still a lot of exploiting with jets and such, and the fact they can 3D spot everyone, come in, do a strafing run, kill a bunch of infantry, and then just kind of take off before anyone can hit them, so...
Can you imagine the AT4ing of jets?
I know, but that's the thing, I don't even think the AT4 could balance jets. I just don't think jets can be balanced well.
Well, dude, that would be really hard to hit, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I thought you were saying, like, they would be cool. Satisfying. I'm like, it'd be cool, but damn, that would be hard to actually do. Yeah, I don't know.
But, like, javelins, if you get the SOFLAM to lock on, and you can't even... and the smoke doesn't work. It doesn't, like, block the javelin. That's just kind of...
Yeah.
It's a frustrating aspect.
Or helicopters, how, like, ECM's so broken now, you can ECM and the thing will still hit you. Or, like, I've ECM'd mid-lock, and, like, it stayed locked. It didn't break the lock. I'm just like, what the fuck? There's so many things wrong with lock-ons. It's super hard to balance, and, I'm in agreement in saying lock-ons probably aren't the best thing to put into an FPS. We're talking about a lot of things we want to change. What are things you want to stay from Battlefield 3? What are things you think Battlefield should implement that Battlefield 3 is doing right now?
I basically like the gun. Generally, I like the gunfights in this game. It has a lot of good aspects to it. Weapons are fun to use, and there's a lot of different ones that are that you can use. And a lot of people, they complain that there's like a certain weapons, that are better than everything else. But I think, personally, all of them, for the most part, are a lot better than people give them credit for. BC2, they had a lot of guns that just weren't very useful at all. And I think they did a lot better generally with this game. Of course, everything needs tweaking, and I think, that brings me to a good point. Balancing in this game, when they release patches, they do it like every 3 months or something when an expansion came out. But I think it'd be better if they had like a lot more active tweaking, than they did in this game.
If a weapon, like if there's a glitch such as the M26 glitch, as we all know, that
they shouldn't wait 3 months to fix it.
No, exactly. They should have just done a quick patch to fix that.